Still not Matt.
Welcome to the bubble. Today I'm filming with my brother Douglas. Say hi to the people,
Hello.
Doug.
Hello, everyone.
Once again, everyone's gone home. I still want to film. So today Doug is stepping in and joining me. We are going to be discussing injuries and accidents that we have had over the years. Now, being brothers, we know a fair few of these for each other. So this is going to be an interesting one. I'd just like to kick us off with one of the funniest ones, I think, and that was all the way back when, it must have been like 5, 6, I don't know, really young. And we're watching the Olympics. You want to tell people what happened?
Yeah, so really young, sat on the sofa watching the Olympics, and the diving was on. So I got the great idea that I wanted to be a diver. So I stood up on the sofa and dove off straight into a glass cabinet.
Straight into the TV stand, just literally stood up on the sofa, jumped off the sofa, dove head first.
My head in.
Oh,
Still have a scar on my eyebrow today.
It was absolutely, it wasn't funny at the time, but that memory to look back on, absolutely hilarious. Cut the eyebrow, I had to go to A&E, we were in there for hours and hours to get him sorted out. Oh, it was funny. What was going through your head?
Just, always been into diving. Wanted to dive, so I did it. Always follow your dreams.
Always follow your dreams. That is a good line. Except when your dreams are diving off your sofa into your glass TV stand.
I had a good imagination. That's the swimming pool. I'm going for it.
Now, another accident that I'd like to bring to the table. This is quite a few years later. I must have been probably 13 years old, something like that. Which made Doug about 9 years old, 9, 10. And we're out in France, where our dad had a place out there, and we used to go out there quite a lot for holidays. And we're playing with this BB gun. It's like gas-powered one, by the metal ball bearings. BBs. It was a powerful one. So we've both been taking turns and we're messing about and we're having fun and we're supervised and everything's like safe and looked after. We're not doing anything silly until we are having a little break and Doug wanders off round the other side of this hedge. I'm stood there looking round at the house and doing whatever I'm doing. And do you remember what you saw on the bush?
Yeah, it was this massive alien. It was an alien-sized bug, okay? It was terrifying to 9-year-old me. It looked like it could eat me. Alive.
So what did you do?
So I shot it. Well, I missed.
You're damn right he missed. He shot at this thing. It went straight through the bush and hit me standing the other side of the bush straight in the arse. Shot me point blank. Must have been like a meter and a half away. Shot through the bush, hit me straight in the arse. I still have queries to this day as to whether you can see me through the bush. He's just taking shots at me. Get one back on his older brother. But yeah, I seem to recall you fired twice.
One of them it was more than twice. It was a few times. It was about half the clip, probably. Yeah. Straight into your ass.
Yeah. So he comes round from the other side. He hears me yell, obviously. Comes running round. I'm lying on the floor, like face down, holding my ass. He runs down to the house. Like, Dad, I shot him. My dad's absolutely panicking like crazy. Comes running up and just finds me there, sobbing, holding my ass. This big red mark that it left behind, all bruising in the middle where it hit. Luckily, it didn't puncture the skin, but it was close. That was painful. That was seriously painful. Oh dear.
I'm always out to do damage to you, aren't I?
Yeah,
I'm always having accidents. You're not.
So you need to even the kill.
Yeah, I need to even it out. You need to be damaged.
Oh dear. That one hurt. You got any other accidents you want to?
I've got plenty.
What one do you want today?
McDonald's?
Oh, that was a good one. That actually paid for us to go to Disneyland for an extra day. Yeah, that was a good accident. You want to share with me what happened?
Well, we're in McDonald's in France, travelling about, and me and Ian go into the toilets. As we're about to wash our hands, stood right next to each other, Ian goes to press the soap dispenser. The soap dispenser's broken, and it sprays out sideways. Now, I was about half the height of Ian at the time, so it didn't really affect him, but it was eye height for me.
It was
So it went straight into my eyes, burning my eyes.
Yeah.
And they tried to offer us some toys for the damage
ridiculous.
done.
It was so bad. This soap dispenser malfunctioned horrendously.
Yeah.
Press it and it sprayed out straight. It went everywhere, but straight into
like
his
a
eyes.
grenade.
Yeah, it was really bad, and his eyes went bright red, like the same color as the trays in McDonald's. Like it was horrendous. So we would go out and Dad's like ranting and raving at the people behind the tills.
Yeah,
This is ridiculous. Happy. Like so health and safety and all the rest of it going off on one. And they turn to us and they're like, "Well, we could give you your choice of toys from the Happy Meal collection." What? Choice of toys? His eyes are burning. So Dad goes off on one. He's not happy about this. He picks up his phone. He says he's getting on his phone with a lawyer and this, that, and the other. And the manager's like, "Oh, you don't need to do that. How about we give you like 200 euros or something?"
Something like that, yeah.
I can't remember the exact amount. They said, "Look, we'll give you 200 euros of compensation, and we'll give you like you can eat for free during this meal. Like you can have whatever you want, and we'll give you one of each of the toys. Like, and we'll just settle this now." So we agree to this. It's worked in favour for us, even though your eyes are burning like crazy.
It was worth it.
Still, the free McDonald's and the extra money was
Disneyland,
nice. Yeah, so
worth it.
we ate as much as we possibly could and thoroughly enjoyed the free McDonald's. And then Dad decided that the money that they'd given us put towards a day, like an extra day at Disneyland, because we were going and we were heading up there on our way back, like as we were travelling around, so we were going to Disneyland and paid for an extra day there, so we got an extra day in Disneyland out of it. So that was
worth it.
Well, I'm glad you can say that. It was worth it for me. I'd got a bit of soap on my t-shirt.
Don't need eyes to go to Disneyland. So. Totally.
But yeah, that was painful. That did look sore. Speaking of eyes, I remember another time in France once again, and we bought a pack of, you know, the little popper things that you'd throw at the floor and they explode. Do you know the actual name for them? Or
bangers.
Yeah, there's bangers.
They explode.
But yeah, little like paper wraps, and they come in like a sawdust like mix, and you take them out and you throw them at the floor and they explode. It's just something you can buy from the shops out there. And we bought some, and we're messing about, throwing them around, and Doug's got the pack, and it's emptied out, and the wind's blown, and all this sawdust and chemical mix, God knows what it is, has blown straight up into his face, got all into his eyes. How did that feel? That must have been horrendous.
Not that bad. It was just quite irritating, really.
Yeah?
Yeah, it wasn't like...
Which was worse, the soap or the chemicals?
The soap had already destroyed my eyes, so I think it'd been permanently damaged from that, so the sawdust didn't really do as much.
Yeah,
but it wasn't
either
nice.
way. I mean, you had to, like, we took him to A&E.
Yeah, that one was weird.
And that looked so, like, they rigged him up to this, like, they were like contact lenses. They're like in his eye,
like with the little suction cups, like suckers on your eyes.
Yeah, they're like these pipes coming off, and they were pumping. Was it salt water? Like,
salt water straight into my eyes.
Pumping salt water to clean his eyes out, to flush his eyes through. Oh, it looked horrible. I remember sitting there like next to him, like holding his hand or whatever, and like I was all around him trying to like comfort him. But he's just got these pipes coming out of his eyes, just flushing his eyeballs out.
It was like something out of a sci-fi film.
Yeah, it was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Obviously, those chemicals are bad to have in your eyes.
It felt cool, so...
It felt cool, didn't it?
Yeah, got these big tentacles coming out my eyes.
Well, it looked crazy, I'll tell you that much. That was...
Take a picture.
taken a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have taken
That'd
a
have been
picture.
great.
It wasn't the first thing on our mind at the point in time. Something I'd like to talk about is we were on a car journey. I think we were going to Weymouth or coming back from Weymouth because that was where our dad lived before moving to France. And we're in the car and we're messing about and just fooling around like brothers do in the back seat, pestering each other and irritating each other. And I think I'm tickling him, and I reach across and I dig my fingers into his ribs, and he just turns around and jolts like that. He nutted me straight in my nose. It was blood running out of it. I just trying to shove anything to stop the blood like pouring out of my face. Obviously, Dad turns around and, what do you expect messing around and play fighting in the back? That wasn't too painful, but it was the
Didn't
thought
tickle
of
me again. So.
yeah, no, I didn't tickle him after
Learned your
that.
lesson.
But yeah, that was rather painful, but not too bad.
Have you ever had an accident that wasn't caused by me?
Interesting question.
Have you ever been damaged and it wasn't caused by me?
I've been damaged in rugby and things like that in sports.
Yeah, but you're meant to get damaged in rugby.
But like actual like day to day, I'm a very like I think about a lot while I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm very cautious and I make sure that I don't do things that are going to injure me. Oh, the brush. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Yeah, so I was working on what I called the Party Palace. Now, I moved out to France after school, and my dad gave me like free use of a porchery, which is a building that they use for housing pigs. We didn't know it was just an empty building. I'll tell you the full story about that in another episode, but I've got all this rubble all over the floor, and I've got this big hole where we pulled up some of the flooring panels where it goes down to where all the waste used to go from the animals. And I've got one of those like aluminium handled brushes, and in my vigorous sweeping, the end had snapped off.
Vigorous sweeping.
Yeah, vigorous sweeping. The end of the handle had snapped off, so there's all this curling, sharp metal on the top of the handle. And I didn't have another brush handle, so I just carried on. So I'm sweeping this rubble and pushing, and then the brush caught on the lip of the hole. My hand slid across the brush, and it cut all the way across these fingers and all the way across these fingers. Just every finger was bleeding, just blood running out. I even still have the scar. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there and right above it, right there. 2 scars that are left from it, but that runs straight across all my fingers on both hands. I just dropped the brush. I'm looking at my hands, and there's just blood running out of every finger. I just go running down the house and put my hands under the water, just trying to wash it all out and clean it up. So I'm working in like waste from like animals from there before, and all sorts of like dust and concrete dust and all sorts of things. That was an accident.
Did just say that you think about what you're doing.
Yes, I know, kind of contradicts it, but like I said, I didn't have another brush handle, and I didn't want to stop working because I'd broken my brush. I just like it needed doing. I could have maybe
does come in to play there.
Yes,
where you think about the broken brush handle and the damage it could cause.
But I didn't think it was going to catch on the lip. I just, like, I could have put it down and picked up the bits one at a time, but I was sweeping loads of it all at once into this hole. Like, it was much quicker. So, yes, I did think risk over reward at that point and go for that option, which resulted in cutting all of my fingers. So, bad decision.
Bad decision.
What about yourself? The hot chocolate? You care to share that one?
Oh, there's that one. That one's something else because I was old enough to think about what I was doing at the time.
You certainly were.
Most of my accidents I was young, but this one I was in college.
Yeah.
I was in college, and I was at home, and I wanted to keep my hot chocolate hot, so I made it with water, not milk. At this point, I wasn't taught in the ways of making proper hot chocolate with
A
milk.
hot chocolate connoisseur at this point.
So so it was just boiling water and cocoa powder. So I made it in this flask, put the lid on, and went to drink it. Now I didn't know that the lid wasn't on properly. So the lid comes off and it spills all over my chin, all over me, and it stuck and burnt me because of the sugar.
It was horrendous.
That's why I don't grow beard hair, straight in the middle. So now I've got this.
For years, you
weird
had these
beard.
2 tufts that had just been growing through the strip in
Yeah.
the middle. Is just missing because where it all just burnt. It,
So I
it was
had
terrible, wasn't it,
a
at the
week
time?
off college, I think, and my chin was bandaged. They couldn't bandage it properly because how do you bandage someone's chin? And yeah, I didn't have hot chocolate for a while after that.
Yeah, I'll
But I
bet.
didn't really tell many people how it happened either.
Well, you just told the world.
Yeah, I've just told everyone, but at the time, I didn't really tell many people because
Understandable.
it's quite stupid. What about your payback for me shooting you in the arse? Up at France again, where you tricked me about the homeless man sleeping in
Oh,
the
that
porchery.
was so bad. I still feel bad for this one to this
Yeah,
day.
you should.
I got you though. I got you good.
You got it too good. I was really young still, and we're in the middle of the night. We're going up exploring the farm, like stupid children that we were. And we go up to one of the porcheries, and Ian turns around to me and says, "There's a homeless man in there. There's someone in there. He's coming." So I run.
Properly made it out like this guy's
Yeah.
like crazy. Like he's just, I've seen him in there. He's seen me. Like he's chasing us. He's coming now. Like we gotta go. Run, run, run. Like,
And I'm a scared child. I was scared of the dark at the time. I didn't like strangers. Everything scared me. So I ran very fast. And I was a fast runner at the time as well. So I'm running, not focusing on how I'm running or where I am. And I trip and slide straight into these big logs that had been cut down. There were trees that were cut down. And dented my head right there.
full on straight in the forehead. Like I
Yeah.
felt so guilty.
But-
Like, I'm behind him. Obviously, I'm not running that fast. Like I know there's nothing coming for us, so I'm just like going along behind him, playing along, and he's just sprinting for his life and just boom, straight in his head. Oh, the noise of the pain. Like
But the day before that, they hadn't been cut. So they had big, sharp, spiky wooden splinters on the front. So
Could've gone a lot
if that
worse.
happened a day earlier, I don't know, I'd have had a little horn coming out my head or something.
yeah, I could have gone really bad.
But that
So-
one was your fault. So.
Yeah, I cop for that one. Just remember
once.
when you're playing pranks on people or doing things, be
Think
aware
about
of the
it.
surroundings. Like know what could happen, because that was a silly one. Running through a farm in the pitch black, like there's so many things that could hurt you. We're lucky that it was only a knock to the head, like you say, with the spiky
Yeah.
bits that before they were trimmed down for firewood. Like it could have
Obviously,
been really bad.
on YouTube, there's a big community of pranksters on there, and they know what they're doing. They're professionals. They know exactly what they're doing. They're all ready for anything to happen. And as kids,
Yeah,
you're
they're
not.
health and safety people
Yeah,
on set.
they're ready.
They've got people there that
But
just.
yeah, as children messing around, you're not. So obviously, still mess about, still be kids, still have pranks.
Just be
but-
careful.
yeah.
It's just, like I say, think about it. Make sure you know what could happen and be aware of the person you're pranking and what danger they're in comparison to what the prank's worth. Something that I'd like to say as well, another thing that happened on the farm while we're there. We used to have pigs on the farm. We had a myriad of animals, but specifically we're talking about the pigs right now. there was this massive boar. You remember George?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was big.
He was really big. Like, he was so big that you could ride him. Like, you could literally climb on his back, your feet would be off the floor, and he'd just happily walk about with you on his back. Like, he was a wicked pig. We'll talk more about that in another episode. What I'm going to tell you about now is that I was in there one day feeding them, and all the pigs were perfectly fine. They were lovely. That's why we got in with them. They were never a problem. Never got aggressive. Never anything like that. And so I'm in there, minding my own business, putting bread down for them and dishing out food. And George comes running up to me. He shoves his snout in between my legs, lifts me off the ground with his snout, and just tosses me to the side, and I fall into this big pile of wood and cut all up my arm. This big pile of firewood that we had stored in one of the barns that is next to where the pigs lived. That was scary because I didn't know what he could do, because he was capable of a lot. He was a strong animal. He'd never turned before. He'd never been aggressive before. So to come and chuck me out the way, I think he was just trying to get the bread off me. He just threw me across into this pile of wood, literally threw me about a meter. He just picked me up and chucked me, cut on my arm, like I say, and I jumped up from the pile of wood and I just ran for the fence and jumped straight over the fence just to try and get away from him, just because I didn't know what he could do next or what he was going to do. He was too busy eating the bread. He didn't care what I was doing, but still, it was scary.
It's another thing to learn, though. Animals are very unpredictable. You don't know what they'll do.
Yeah, you always got to have your wits about you whenever you're around animals, especially big ones, but even small ones. Any animal can do some damage.
Can do damage. Yeah.
As friendly as they may seem throughout most of their life, little thing can just turn them. Having a bad day or whatever's running through their head, they decide to have a go at you. You got to be prepared,
because they don't know what can hurt us. They just be playing, or
they can
anything.
Nudge each other like that, and it's not a problem. They nudge us like that, and we go flying. Are there any others you'd like to add in? I think I'm pretty much wrapped up.
I think that's it.
Yeah. You got an outro?
An outro?
Anything? No.
Nah. Thanks for listening about all of our injuries in the past, and hopefully laughing at how badly we were injured.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.